Hey, what's going on Facebook? Hey. Y'all know who it is. This is Dr. J. Will. Hey, what's going on with you today? You already know I have a special guest today, and I'm telling you, this man, he is the man. He is the man. Some of y'all probably didn't even forgot about him, but you know what? We're gonna make sure that when he comes on this show today, like I say, he's the man, none other than the sugar himself. The sugar himself, that's the one and only, that's Grandmaster Sugar, Robert Sugar Crosson. Y'all seen him, jiu-jitsu man that took down about 15 people at one time. So I'm bringing him on the show right now. Hello, sir. How are you today? You know, I had some special music that I wanted to play when you came in because it's the music of champions. It's the music of a champion.
All right,
So,
all right.
hey, listen,
Yes, I'm
while
feeling
you
great
sing
and
that,
getting
y'all
better.
listen to music of
Yes.
champions. This song just for you. Just for you.
All right.
This is Jay Will's version.
Adrian.
Listen. I just wanted to have some fun today. This is the one, the only. Listen. This is the one, the only doctor. I say doctor, but this is Grandmaster Robert Crosson, Sugar Crosson. You know, he has trained so many. He see some of y'all forget about him, but some song by I guess that guy named Dre. He said, "Y'all don't forget about me," but I can't let you forget about. I can't let them forget about you. So since I have you in the studio, well, not in the studio, but here on live, I'm going to give you the floor. I don't want to take up too much of your time because your history speaks for itself. So many probably wonder, hey, what happened to you? Where are you at? Are you still training? Have you put out any new products? And all that. And y'all see this? Y'all see this? Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this right here? Y'all like that, don't you? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Well, for a small price, he'll tell you how to get one. So when you're talking to an inbox and say, how can I get that nice sweatsuit that J Dub is wearing today? How can I get that? We'll talk about the jump rope too. We're gonna tell you how you get this fitness rope. And you know what? That's rare that somebody have their own fitness jump rope. But see, you got to go to YouTube and check out the Robert Crosson's fit jumping and all the 300 and 400 jump rope techniques that he have you using. He might not have 300, but he got something close to that. So listen, without me saying any more, Dr. Robert, Grandmaster Robert, go ahead and the floor is yours. Tell us about what you do, what you're doing now, and all that good stuff. Tell us, go ahead. The floor is yours right now.
Okay, well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on this platform. And as always, I want to give first and foremost all the praise, honor, and glory to God for giving me this opportunity to be here today. And thank you for inviting me.
Always.
Well, yes. So my name is Robert Crosson, Robert Sugar Crosson. Sugar, which is the nickname given to me at birth by my mother. I don't know if she thought I was sweet or whatever, but I think actually she named me after I had an uncle named Isaac and they called him Sugar. So they used to call me Baby Sugar because they named me after my Uncle Bob, so Robert, and I guess he got jealous, so they named me Baby Sugar. But as I got older, I just dropped the baby and kept the sugar, and then it carried over with me into my martial arts world, my motivational speaking world, my entertainment world. So that's what I'm known as, and I am a grandmaster of the martial arts. I am the creator of my own system of martial arts. It's called Sugar Ryu Jiu Jitsu. I don't know if you see that. It says Sugar Ryu Yes, but Sugar Ryu Jiu-Jitsu is a combination of karate, judo, boxing, aikido, weaponry, pi, tai chi, kung fu, acrobatics, dance, and what I call urban streetology self-defense, which is learning to utilize the various elements of the street to your advantage. Because I am originally born in Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn, a section, East New York and Brownsville, which was rough sections of Brooklyn coming up in the 60s and 70s. And as a matter of fact, I believe I have told you one time, Mike Tyson used to live around the corner from me, about 2 blocks from me. You know, he was a smaller guy. He wasn't Mike Tyson then, but he had started boxing and yeah, but Brownsville, East New York. So at a early stage of my life, I got involved in the martial arts. So I'm kind of fast forwarding. Um, my
Take
father,
your
who
time.
was a hand-to-hand combat instructor in the military, uh, Reverend James Thomas Crosson, may he rest in peace. He was actually my first instructor. My first instructor. Yes. Well, if we go before that, my mother was my first instructor because she
Oh,
basically taught me
yes.
on. She taught me about just uh, being confident in whatever I did. But my father, he started showing me little jujitsu tricks when I was 3 years old. And at 3 years old, I can remember the very first technique that he ever showed me. And it's amazing because it was like fun and games to me. And as I got older, he would come home off leave or he would, you know, come up and say, I'm gonna attack you. And I would do my little block and drop to the floor and do my scissor technique. And it's so crazy. I'm gonna get back to this. But the scissor technique he showed me back in 19, okay, I'm gonna say about 57. Yeah, well, I'm actually 68 years old. I'll be 69 this
See,
year.
people
But
see if you wouldn't have said your age, if you wouldn't have said your age, people thought you was in your, early 40s, late 30s. So I'm glad you cleared that up
oh,
because I
I
didn't
appreciate it.
get
I appreciate it.
that.
Yes, but it's amazing because the technique he showed me. One day I was watching UFC and they had some champions fighting, and they said, "Oh, he took him out. That is one of the most advanced techniques in Brazilian jiu-jitsu and judo and jiu-jitsu." Da, da. And oddly enough, it was like the first technique that I learned from my dad. Similar, very similar. You know, maybe they added some stuff, but I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. But so my dad, he would show my brother and I. My brother was 2 years older than me. His name was James Crosson. Also, we call him Pee Wee. But my father would show us little moves, and my brother, you know, he would do them, but he really wasn't that interested in that. He used to. He was more of an artist into drawing and all that stuff. But to me, I just took to this thing, and I can remember, like I said, the very first technique that he ever showed me. And I would practice on my own. And so one day, and I tell this story time and time again, perhaps you've heard it, but for the viewers, uh, one day I was in the living room. We lived on Bergen Street in Brooklyn. And I had a pillow set up on the couch, another pillow set up on the chair, and another pillow there. And I had my little John Wayne, that's what I call them, cowboy guns, whatever you would call them, you know, the pearl handle guns. And I would come
Oh
in with
yeah,
my little
oh yeah.
hat and I'm talking to the pillows. I said, "You guys looking for some trouble?" And I pulled my guns out. I said, "I don't need this." And I put them down. I walk up to one pillow, boom, uppercut, flip it over my shoulder, chop this one, throw him down, pull this one down, hit him. And then I put my guns on and say, "You fellas better behave yourself." And as I went to turn around and walk out, my dad was standing there like this. I was like, "Oh boy,
I'm
I'm
in
in
trouble.
trouble." He said, "Come here." I said, "Oh boy, I'm in trouble." My father never spanked me. You know, he would do a little
Right.
something like that.
Right.
But he never really beat me or my brother anything. Thank God. He would talk to us and stuff. But so I'm expecting him to say, Papa, you throwing them pillows down and you dirtying up. And my father said, let me tell you something. The next time you have 3 pillows there, I'm like, yes, Dad. He said, make it 5. He said, you could take more pillows than that. You could take on 5. I said, okay, Dad. So, I up my game. So now I'm trying to chop pillows. I'm chopping, making fake clothes, stuffing them. And at a young age, this was a game to me, but I didn't realize that it was eventually going to become my calling, because this is what the Creator eventually ordained me to do, the martial arts. And in that, well, let me just say another piece before I move forward. So I was chopping the pillows one day, and my mother came in. I said, Mom, look at this. Dot, 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 dot. I said, what do you think? She popped me in my head. Boy, get my pillows back up there. You hit my pillows. I'm like, oh, okay. I can't show her the move.
It's
She's
your mom.
gonna take me out. My mother's name was Martha Lee Crosson. Martha Lee Crosson. That was her middle name, from the South. But I say she had that back fist. It was faster than Ali, Jet Li, and Bruce Lee. So I couldn't mess with her. And may she rest in peace also. But yeah, so as I got older, I continued to just work on the little things that I had learned from my dad. If I saw something on TV, a little, what they called it back then, judo chop.
Yeah, yeah. They had the
There's a
Kung
judo
Fu
chop.
Theater that came on every Saturday morning. Kung Fu Theater. That's what we had in Arkansas that came on, or either Kung Fu. He do one move and we know, oh man, David Carrington, Kung Fu.
Yeah. Well, this was way before. Yeah, that's right. We used to have a guy named Joe Jitsu on TV, little Oriental guy, and he would flip, yo, so sorry. So I would watch all that stuff. But anyway, fast forwarding, because like I said, I don't want to tell the whole story because they might not buy the book. Okay. But at age 7, quick story. My sister lived in a area, Cypress Hills, which was predominantly Jewish, Italian, some Hispanic, some Black or Afro-American. And I was going to the store one day to pick up a newspaper for her. So I went to the pizza shop, came out the pizza shop. These 2 white youth, they had to be maybe, I don't know, they looked like they were like huge to me. I'm 7, 8 years old. And they might have been 12, 13, 14. I couldn't tell. But they said, what are you doing in white boys turf? So first thing I'm saying, well, what does turf mean? And a white boy, what do you mean? By the time they mushed the pizza in my face and pushed me down.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm thinking, I should try that technique, the scissor technique, and chop, and I could take this guy out. But then I also said, you know what? If it don't work for me, they're gonna beat me up real bad. So they throwing kicks and stuff, kind of, real soft, not hard, but
Right.
calling me the N-word.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand it. I'm like, what's going on here? This is really happening. And this man jumped out of the car and he yelled at them. They ran off. So I ran home crying, pizza on my face here. And, times was rough then. So I actually took that pizza. I ate that, what was left. I said, ain't no sense in just totally losing everything, So, so I went home. My brother, who was about 2 years older than me, he got a 2x4, some stick, a broomstick or something from out the yard. And he said, we're going back up there to find him. I don't want to go back up there. So we go up there and I'm like, I don't see him. Let's go back home, because I'm trembling. I'm terrified. And what that did was it created a complex for me, because for a long time after that, anytime I saw teenagers, especially white, or white teenagers or white people, I just had this thing, oh, they're bad people. or they're after me. And I would literally duck or hide behind a car. And I didn't want to go out where my sister lived. I didn't want to go out to the park or outside in that area because I always thought those guys would, uh, see me
Yeah.
again and really jack me up.
Yeah.
But and this is only one story, so I'm trying to fast forward it. But from that experience, it really traumatized me, and I said, you know what? I really have to learn how to protect myself. I got to get serious about this karate thing, and so I um, eventually started going to a place. It was called Good Shepherd Community Center with Mr. Green, and they taught Shotokan karate, Mr. Green and Mr. Sealy. So I started with that. I had a friend that was doing some Korean motor quan. He would show me moves. I had another friend, Freddie, and he was a high school kid, and he would teach me moves and help me. And it also taught me how to read better. Bruce Tegner books, which jujitsu, karate, and so I just anything I could absorb. And I had this thought in my mind: one day I'm going to get so good, I'm going to go beat up them white boys. I'm going to look for them. This is the attitude I had, and I started to develop confidence. And I got to the point whereas I was like, okay, yeah, let one of them come at me. I'm ready now.
Especially now.
Which wasn't the right attitude, but you're young
Exactly.
and you're going according to your anger. And of course, there was a lot of racial tension going on. And as I grew older, and when I was
Wow.
in the
Mhm.
8th grade, they assassinated Dr. Martin Luther King.
Mm.
And then there was a lot of racial tension going on. So that's another story for another day. But there were certain areas in New York or in Brooklyn you couldn't go to because it was Italian. You couldn't go to this area because it was Latino. You couldn't go, and it was like a diverse
Right.
community, but it was like stay in your lane.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to learn the martial arts so I could not only protect myself, but I said, if anyone ever try to hurt my family or anyone that I love, then I'll be able to protect them. And I told my instructor years later, because he said, and I was a black belt by then, because I made black belt around the age 14, but a legitimate black belt, because they wasn't giving out black belts back then unless you were not giving them out, but you couldn't get a black belt unless
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
really, I mean, in the 60s, come on, wasn't many kids doing martial arts, 60s, 70s, uh, when the Kung Fu movie started,
Right.
and Kung Fu and Five Fingers of Death and all that, it created a whole different atmosphere for the martial arts. But I could talk about this all day, but I'm just going to fast forward and then we can talk about some other stuff. But one day my instructor, he saw me train, he said, "You're really good." This is Professor Florindo Visitacion, who was my instructor's instructor. And my instructor, may rest in peace, was Supreme Grandmaster Dr. Moses Powell. And I had the opportunity to learn many, many great things from him, not only in the way of the martial arts, but in life and generally. But that's in the next interview. So my instructor, a Grandmaster Professor, we used to call him Florendo Visitacion from the Philippines, he said, "Why do you train so hard?" He said, "But when you train, I notice you have a seriousness and I can feel you have aggression and an anger. What's going on?" I said, "Well, I got attacked by some white boys. I was on white boys' turf, and that's all. I don't even know what it meant. I mean, I didn't know what it meant, but I'm just repeating what it." He said, "What?" I said, "I was in the neighborhood, and these guys jumped me, and I'm just training. If I ever see him again, ooh, oh my goodness." So he sat me down. He said, "Okay, well, first of all, that's the wrong attitude." He said, "So it was two white youth, right?" I said, "Yes." He said, he said, "Now you use a word that we don't use." He
Mhm.
said, "You said, I hate them." He said, that's a bad attitude, a bad approach. We don't use that word." He said it's a negative word that's causing negative actions in you. He said, but the other thing is, if they had been two Afro-American youth, would you hate black people or hate black youth? I said,
Yeah.
I don't think. He said, okay. He said, and then you said there was a man that helped you out. Was he black, Hispanic? I said it was a white man. He said, so why don't you hate him? Didn't he help you? So he said that was an isolated incident, and you can't use that term hate. Perhaps he was dissatisfied with the situation, but revenge is not the way to go about it. He said, your training, that's a great thing. He said, but what you should do with your training is when you get to a point, which I was already doing, he said, really start helping others. And that was it. After that, I said, that's what I want to do. I want to help others. I want to train. I want to travel. I want to teach, not just in New York or Manhattan. I want to, just train people all over the world how to be safe. And yeah, I'm just going on. Go ahead, brother. You go ahead.
No, because you said so many great things, and I want to say hello to everybody that's watching. I see a great competitor on here. I think he's an 8-time world champion. That's Sensei Kenneth Wentz on here. Bless you, sir.
Good.
And you also have Robin Sharkley. Her dad is Professor Gary Lee. She's on here. And I see Bella. She is on here. I see the owner of the International Women's Pageants, the World's Pageants, Miss Jara Lynn. She's on here. I'm just sending shout out to the people that's on here. I'm one of her ambassadors for the beauty pageants as well. And Miss Bella Levy, she is also on here. She helped rescue young women that's out on the street, and all that stuff. And we're going to be doing some things together. Tangi Roseborough, you know her. You just featured in her magazine, her upcoming magazine. You'll be featured in that. She is on here, as well as just thanking each and every person for tuning in. And listen, you said something about that really is true for a lot of us, if we want to admit it or not. I grew up in Arkansas, and I can remember times where I was just standing on the porch, and you know how the main road or whatever runs in front of your house, and some white people just drive by and, hey, N-word, as they're driving by, and just say the word as they're driving by. You're not doing anything, just sitting on the porch looking at the traffic or enjoying the weather. And they gave us a lot of reasons. I remember one time walking home from the skating center. Everybody in my hometown, Blytheville, Arkansas, you didn't have to look far to see where they were at on Saturday night, because we were at the skate rink. Every Saturday night, where you gonna be? Oh, you know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be skating, whatever. So one particular night, we were coming home, and they have a lot of KKK in our hometown. Just keep it real. They have a lot of KKK. They do their rallies and everything. And I guess they get a permit to do that, and they can do that or whatever. But one night we were walking home from the skate rink. We're all teenagers, and it was a group of people sitting out, like a couple of drunks or whatever, and they had to drink like a case or two of beer. 24 bottles. And what they was doing is we had to walk past their house to continue down the street to get home. And they were just lobbing beer bottles, and they were just busting us, clang, clang, clang. We didn't have cell phones back then, in the early 80s. We didn't have cell phones, and they were just throwing beer bottles, and they was bursting glass going everywhere. But I don't think they'll try that today, because people are different today. And
I don't know, they might.
No, they were sitting in their yard just lobbing beer bottles in our path, in the glass just bursting in the street. So when I started taking, just like you said, and I'm sure there's more martial arts out there that will admit this, I started taking martial arts for that same reason that you said. I didn't get beat up by the whites, but it was just stuff that people were doing, not only just whites, but everybody was just, they make you go and say, okay, you got me today, but I'm gonna go learn something. And then once you get good at your art, you hope that they come and say something to you. You hope that that person or a couple of more come up in your face. And it's even in my book where I had one fight in high school that I got suspended for because I was a liked guy. I mean, I was the class clown. We had fun. We like laughing more than being sad. And the white guy, he knew I was a martial artist. He knew I was pretty good in high
Mhm.
school, and I guess he had to show that whatever he had to show that he was a better fighter or whatever. And I did something to him that I'm glad now looking back that it wasn't tragic because he said, "Well, I'll fight you," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, let's go or whatever." So as we're walking, I did the mistake that as a martial artist, when I was young, that we don't make. I let him get behind me right here, and I was right here. So he just swung around with a punch, and it squared me right here. I mean, just as hard as you can. I ain't never been, and that's been since the 80s, and I still feel that lick that he put on me right there because he sucker punched me from the back. Because I didn't think he was serious because we played football together, but I guess he was serious. And I mean, he nailed me in the mouth, and I shook it off. And by the time I realized what I was doing, he had posed himself like a fighting, but he left everything open. Well, I just learned the side kick. And I'm telling you, I did a sliding side kick and it kicked him through the glass. I mean, I put everything, I even borrowed some energy into that kick and I kicked him through the glass and he flew under it was like a basement type glass at the school. And when he flew in there backwards or however he flew in there, I pulled him out. I didn't think about, oh, I could scar his body up with the glass that was I did not care. I mounted him, and as soon as I was getting ready to just start pouncing his face, the teacher jumped on my back and braced my arms and stuff. Everything that I had learned is ground and pound. He was about to get it, but I thank God that I didn't do that, because now I have control. I can walk away. I'll be a punk if you want to call me that. I'll be whatever you want to be, but at least I can walk away. Now, if you come and touch me, that's a different story. But I'd rather walk away and live to see another day than mess with some of this stuff that they're doing out in the street today because
Yeah.
everybody just out to hurt each other. They're looking for a reason. Everybody's angry. And you do a lot of videos. I love your motivational videos. And that's the part I wanted to get at too. Tell us how people can go online and see your videos. I know you got websites up and you got YouTube videos. Go ahead. Go ahead. You do
Okay,
seminars.
well, I'm really gonna uh, try to push my YouTube channel because I'm not really into all this social media stuff. Like, these young kids, they can just
They
do it
can
with their
Google
eyes closed. I'm not
find
really
stuff on
up
YouTube.
to date, but I do have Instagram.
Okay.
Yes, and it's Sugar Crosson on Instagram. And then my website, which I'm currently working on, but it's up, but I'm going to
Okay.
continue to develop it. It's called CrossonFight.com, CROSSON fight.com. Now, I'm going to be posting more videos. Most of the videos on YouTube and stuff now is stuff that other people have posted from years back, Madison Square Garden, or stuff that I didn't know existed. I'm like, whoa, okay, yeah, there you go. I had an afro back then. All right, but I'm working on a book, uh, Fitness for Everyday People,
Okay.
and I'm looking to do some other books in the near future. And you mentioned Tangi, and I want to give her a shout out. And yes, 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 she's doing some great work. And the magazine that's coming
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
her magazine it's called From
It's called Pain to Purpose magazine.
Pain
Pain
to
to Purpose.
Purpose. Yeah, yeah, yes. I think
And
all the folks out there
you can
watching
get it on,
definitely
yeah, you can get it
pick
on
up a
Google.
few of
I mean,
those.
Amazon. I always say
Yeah.
Google, but you can get it on Amazon. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Excellent, excellent. But there's so much to talk about. But right now, these days, my focus is not so much on fighting. I mean, I've won several world championships, traveled throughout various parts of the world teaching. Um, I was supposed to be in Brazil teaching at this time, but due to the COVID situation, I'm not really trying
Yeah,
to go
talking about our
too
brother.
far right now. But
You got to mention our brother. You got to mention
I'm sorry.
our Brazilian brother. You got to mention our Brazilian brother from
Oh,
another
oh,
mother.
Carlos Silva. Yes, yes. We'll talk more about him. Great brother, great brother.
Dr.
Um,
Silva is looking also. Dr. Silva is watching also.
yes, yes, yes. He's the man. But
He's the man.
so yes, so fast forwarding through my years of experience and going through the racial riots and tensions, I've been in the middle of gang wars, drug wars, just so many different situations. But it's by the grace of God that His hand guided me to be here at this time. And I've been able to reach, I don't know how many, I would even say somewhere like in the millions over the years by, through my videos, through doing the different events on TV, talk shows, radio talk shows, and all that stuff. But to help people to live a more quality and healthier life, so to speak. So right now, what my mission is to motivate, to educate, to inspire, to influence, to uplift, and to help people to live, like I said, a more healthier, if that's the way to put it, to live a healthier life, and to also
Now,
think positive, be positive, do positive, and yeah. What were you going to say?
now I'm glad you said about the healthy life because you yourself you battled cancer and defeated cancer, correct? Is that
Oh
true?
yeah, yeah. That was one of the biggest battles. But once again, I always give praise and glory to God because it was because of His grace and mercy that I stand here and bear witness today that He is. Yeah,
Yes, yes. And I,
yeah.
I made I wanted to get that in.
Yes, and what the doctor said to me when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer years ago, because I was in good shape. I thought I didn't feel no pain. Just it came off winning the world championship, and went to the doctor and got the checkup thing. But he said we need to do extensive checkup, and I said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Like that, because as a black man, you don't want nobody probing and touching and all that stuff.
Violating you.
So I did what I had to do, and yeah, they said the blood work shows that your PSA is high. I didn't know what that was, and blah 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 blah. We're gonna have to do some more extensive tests or whatever. And lo and behold, he said, "Yeah, you have cancer. We're gonna have to either operate, do this, do that, do that." And all I could hear was cancer, cancer, and then I would hear death,
Mm.
cancer, death. So I thought that was it. I'm like, no, this can't be it.
Oh,
This cannot be it. What do you mean? I'm
mm.
feeling great. I said, Doc, I need a second opinion. He said, okay, well, you're ugly too. But that's another story. No. Um, so I fast forwarding, I got the right treatment, and I asked my doctor that pretty much guided me through the whole situation if this was a death sentence, and he said no. He said one, he said you're in good shape. He said two, you caught this early, and three, you have a positive attitude. He said, so you're on a winning team. He said, we do what we do, and you continue to do what you do, and you're going to be all right. So he gave me a vote of confidence. And with that, I felt much better. Went home, I just immediately started praying and thanking God, and, for whatever reason I was diagnosed with this cancer, I knew it was a purpose. And it was a test that eventually turned into a testimony. And it was a trial that turned into a triumph. So it's something that as I travel the world, I share this story, which it has much more to it, and other information with men, especially because men, they tend to take care of the family, the dog, the car, the job, and everything else, and they put themselves last. But it's very important that they take care of themselves, because the first law of survival is self-preservation, and then they can take care of the family and the job and all that stuff. But we have this thing, especially black men. Well, I'm good, I'm strong, I feel good, so I'm good. Or I don't feel too bad, so I can fight it off. No, you got to go get your checkups. You got to go get everything checked, your cholesterol. When you reach a certain age, of course, the PSA, the colonoscopies, just so many different things that you have to be proactive about. And it's sometimes a little, I won't say aggravating, but it's time consuming, but you won't have any time to consume if you don't do it. So
If you don't,
yes.
you gotta
Now,
go.
I think you also was dealing with the situation. Is that true?
Yes, sir. I feel much better. I'm still waiting to go to the doctor because for some reason, dealing with VA, they get in when they can get you in. So I'm still waiting, but even now, sitting, every time I sit, my left shoulder goes numb. I mean, it's like pins and needles. It's like when your leg or whatever goes to sleep.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
can sit down for 2 minutes and it's automatically right now is dead. I mean, I can move my
Wow.
hand, but this area is it's
Yeah.
it's like it's super sleeping,
I mean,
trying to wake up.
have
So
they
if you see me
examined it? Have they
like
done
this,
X-rays and stuff? Because that I've had something similar over the years, and it was turned out to be a pinched nerve from back in the fighting
they,
days.
that's what they, yes, that's what they. Well, you know, when we fight, we don't always go to the doctor because we're trying to get that next match in and all. So when I did
Yeah.
get X-rays
Take it
and
off,
all
go back in.
that's what they teach us to do. But I'm here to tell you that I have a tear in my neck, a tear in my left rotator cuff, and my right one. And I finished the year last year, and I said, well, I'm so close to. It was some goals that I was trying to reach, and I did reach them, but my body pays the price. And I think wrestlers and martial artists, movie stars, they work through this kind of stuff because it's a goal, and you're saying, well, I might not ever get to this point again. And where I was at is I knew that I wasn't gonna with the age, you creeping up on your age is creeped up on you, and you got to know when to retire out. And so I knew that I should have taken the operation probably 3 years ago, but I've been fighting through it, and now, like I said, I got a tear in my left, right, and my neck. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that one of the nerves have creeped in somewhere, and when I sit down, I mean, it don't even take 3 minutes for it to, like it is right now. And then it goes to your neck. So
Yeah.
something is really going on, and they're
Definitely
gonna,
something, yeah, definitely should
yeah,
look into. One of the things that I did over the years, because I used to fight, and in fighting, you're getting banged up. I'm in the ring with boxers, professional fighters, and you're getting hit in sparring, and you're hitting, then you go compete, you get in hit, you're feeling the soreness, but you're a warrior, so it's like let me just take a hot shower, take a hot bath, get a massage, rub it down, and I'll be
Yeah.
okay in a
Yeah.
few days. And then we go back out there and do it again and again and again. And I realize now at this stage of my life, I can't continue to abuse my body like that. I've held up pretty well. I'm injured probably just about every part of my body, but I changed my workout routine. So where
Yeah.
I was doing the crazy stuff and running up the hill with rocks on my back and, lifting the heaviest weights I could lift and, sparring with 5 and 6 guys and letting them hit me. Come on. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I changed my workout and I do a different type workout. And that's what I want to share with people. And I've come to the conclusion that as you get older, you can get better. But
Yes.
if you don't continue to move, exercise, and stay in some type of workout regimen, then your bones get stiff, whether you're older or younger. You got guys out there like 19, 20, and they're moving like they're like 80 years old, right? So each morning, first thing I do, I pray, I meditate, and then I'll do my stretching, light stretching, and then I'll come and have a cup of tea and I'll stretch and move around the kitchen or whatever, or in the back room. And then I'll go to the dojo or the gym. Well, not the gym, but I have an area that I work out in now. And I just do simple movements. But then as I get warmed up, sometimes I have to slow down. And I know you do that too. I saw you the other day. I said, who's that teenager? I saw you kicking the bag, jumping. I said, who sent me this?
Every
It
now
was you. I said,
and then I burst the energy, every now and then.
yeah,
But
yeah. So we just have to change our ways of, our way of thinking as far as we're not 20 years old. We can still do a whole lot more than the average person. And we just have to monitor and be more mindful of what we do. It's like backflips. And I used to do all that stuff. I could stand up on a car and do a
yeah,
backflip with
on
a full
YouTube.
twist and all that craziness. And someone
Yeah, it's
asked me the other day, can you still do a backflip? I said, yes. And if you want to see it, go on YouTube.
yeah, it's on YouTube. So
Yeah.
so real quick, tell us a little bit about this. This is his own jump rope. It's called Crosson Jump Fit. Tell us a little bit about is this a routine? I mean,
Yes.
this is the jump rope, but I watch you on YouTube and you say you jump rope at speed and all this stuff like 10 minutes straight and 100. I just, what is I mean, tell us a little bit about the jump fit.
Oh, well, the Crosson jump fit jump rope, I kind of took interest in skipping rope back in the early days when I would see Ali, and I've been able to be around a lot of professional fighters. I've worked with professional fighters as a physical consultant, personal security. Sometimes I've sparred with them, and I've been just in the camp of many of the top fighters over the years. But one thing that always attracted me, and I think it may have been from a kid, when I used to see the Cowboys do the lasso with the rope. It was just amazing how they could, do that and catch, a stir or whatever by the horns. So I was always intrigued by that. And years later, after I fell in love with boxing after seeing Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and Foreman and those fights, we see Ali training and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. I could jump rope a little bit, but that stuff. So I got a rope and I just started jumping. And being that I used to box and do full contact, that was part of the regimen. So I would jump, but then I started to add my own little flavor because I also, as you may know, I was a multi-time world weapons champion. So I used to do spins and throw stuff up. So same with the rope. So I just started to create my own style of jumping rope. And then I would watch fighters as they jump. Sugar Ray Robertson back in the day, and I would study them. I would see Mike Tyson jumping. I would, look at the footwork, Roberto Duran, and these different great fighters. And of course, skipping rope, it helps to improve the hand-eye coordination, cardiovascular. It helps strengthen the upper body. It helps to strengthen the core, the legs. I mean, it's a total workout, and it also is good for stress reduction, because as you're jumping, you're trying to focus on what you're doing. You're not thinking about the problems out there and what's going on. You're thinking about getting through this workout, and it becomes like that runner's high. Sometimes I'm jumping and I got the music on, and I'm like, and I'm just feeling it, and it's a great thing. But anyway, Crosson Jump Fit is a system that I created, and I'm in the process. I did a basic DVD, but I'm looking to do a series of about 3 DVDs, and one of them will include how to defend yourself with a jump rope. You imagine if you took that rope and you came across someone's face, they were trying to attack. It's a perfect weapon. It's something that you can carry when you're jogging in the park, or women can carry the jump rope. They can exercise. Someone come up on them, they can stand at a distance. And if you know how to whip that rope out, it's a dangerous thing. A dangerous thing. I got to say, I put in a lot of work to learn the techniques that I have developed, and I would pop myself on the head sometimes. And after a nice workout, I felt like Kuta Kente. I had webs here and stuff here, and but it paid off. So the jump rope, is a great thing.
It kind of like when we were learning the nunchucks.
Yeah.
And not knowing our ping. Whoever have ever dealt with nunchucks, I assure you, done cluck yourself in the head a couple of times at least.
Yeah, I was looking to see if I had some here. I took them outside, but yeah, the chuckers. That's right. That's right. But listen, I just want to say that we met about a month or 2 ago through Mr. Carlos Silva, good friend of both of
our brother us. From another mother.
Yeah. And I'm so happy to have met you and made this acquaintance, because from day one we just connected, and we got some great things to do in the future. So
yes, sir. So did we tell them about how they could, if they wanted to train with you online? Let me put a plug in here. Sensei Kenneth Wentz, if you're still listening, if you're still on, Sensei Kenneth Wentz, put the information out in California. Put it on here I know you just starting your school back up in California. Put your information in the comments. So if somebody is in California, you're looking for a great Kempo teacher that loves Kempo, loves teaching Kempo. He just moved back out to California, and he has opened up his school. We were trying to do some stuff here in Colorado, and but they end up moving back to California. And I want you to put their information in there so that they can get in contact with you. And if you would, sir, type your information, how you can be reached. If somebody want to do your personal training, online courses, you can type it in the comments, and it'll be in there so people can see that. Even if they want to purchase one in your outfit.
Once again, I'm not familiar with all this stuff. I don't even really. So I'll just say, yes, if they go into my Instagram, Sugar Crosson, they can message me and leave a phone number or whatever. But the personal training that I do currently is on Zoom. I'm scheduled to do about 20 seminars once I feel it's safe to travel. But right now I'm just staying home. I'm here in Florida, Tampa, Florida. And
now
the weather's so nice here that a snowman came and wanted to live here.
Outside.
See that? Snowman came over. He said the weather was so nice, he didn't want to stay in the cold weather.
If I point the camera to outside, you'll see that it's snowing here in Colorado. It just started again.
Oh, man, yes. But yeah, Sugar Crosson on Instagram, and my website is CrossonFight.com. CrossonFight.com. And you can message me through my email. But what I was saying was that I do privates, but the truth is that I'm very particular about who I train. And I don't want to just train someone because they're paying for lessons.
Right.
I need people that are committed, serious, and dedicated. So they can contact me if that's the case. And then the other thing is, if time permits, schedule's getting a little crazy now. So many things coming down the pipe.
Yes.
So I gotta ask you this here. So the U.S. Open, which is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, it's coming up in July.
Yes, sir.
July. I understand that you have begun the process of training, preparing, getting ready to come out of retirement and shock the world.
See, I didn't want to say, but I'm gonna make some secret phone calls to people like Sensei Wentz, so he can bring me up to snuff on those Kempo people that I might meet up with. I'm gonna do a couple of 3-4 Zoom classes with you, and just in case I have to run into some unknown stuff that I don't know about, and I'm gonna be ready. Me and you might have to meet each other in the ring, but I'll buy out at any time. I'm okay with that.
Not me.
I'll run the other way. I don't mind. I'll run the other way. But that is great. I even asked Bella. She does a lot with getting these. That's one thing that I love. She's a great humanitarian as well. She does a lot with helping the children. Getting them off the street and stuff. And I even invited her to come out to see what the martial artists do, and because people are more than martial artists. I know that's the name of my book, but people are more than martial artists. We do other things. We do help in the communities, and she's a huge community person. So I told her, yeah, come on out, watch us. I'm going to have fun. You've been there. Yeah. You won the last couple U.S. Opens, right?
Yeah, it was funny because I was watching something, and all of a sudden ESPN comes on and they got the U.S. Open. I had been seeing it. I wasn't thinking about no karate tournament. I'm like, just relaxing and stuff. And then they start showing people flying. I said, that looks pretty interesting. I said, I've been to thousands of tournaments, won thousands of trophies, but that looks pretty interesting. I said, and it's in Disney World. I might just go out there just to hang out. And one of my students, he said, no disrespect, sir. He said, but back in the day, you might have been able to do something in that tournament. I looked at him, I said, what you talking about, Willis? I said, I'm about to do something upside your head right now. Don't ever doubt me. And we were joking around. And I said, you know what? I might give it a shot. I think I might go compete in that self-defense division because I've seen some pretty good guys up there on stage. And lo and behold, I went and competed. When I went, they said, well, first of all, you're not rated in the national whatever. I said, yeah, all that's cool. No problem. This guy told me, well, you're too late to register now because you were supposed to register 3 days ago. I said, yeah, that's good, but you can make a way. I wound up competing. I was the oldest guy there. I think I was at that time 61. Won the world championship. There was a instructor that told me, he said, listen, Yeah, you can sign up, but I got to tell you, you're not going to win.
Wow.
I said, man, I said, I don't even have time to entertain that comment. I said, but I'll get back to you later on because I didn't want to go into the who the heck you tell me.
Yeah.
So I won first place. One of the trophies. That's a few of them back there, right?
Wow.
So I came back that evening with the trophy, and I saw that same guy. I said, man, this is a nice trophy for a loser. So he looked. Oh, I said, yeah. And then when I did the final show, the grand championship, then he comes, oh wow, you're, man, get out of here. You know, so that's another example to say, don't let anybody tell you what you can do. But yeah, as far as this upcoming tournament, I may give it a shot. I'll see how things are going with life and generally. But yeah, so I know that you are getting hyped up about it, and the whole thing is go out there, win, lose, draw, have fun. It's a great place.
I was in the gym last night, and I really felt good. You know, I hadn't worked out like I did last night in a while, and I really felt good. And that motivation of knowing that you're gonna be there, and Dr. Carlo's gonna be there, and we're just gonna get to hang out and just have some fun. And I'm really just going to have fun. I don't care about the fighting and all that. And you know I got to give out some pretty big awards there, so they got me doing that. So just even going to be a part of playing a part in it is huge for me. And you know, they want me to do a few things there, and I'm that's what I'm going for. I'm going to have fun, and
it's going to be a nice event. And I guarantee anybody that attends that event, the property, Coronado Springs Hotel, is a very nice property, and it's just it's a vacation in generally, so you'll enjoy it. I don't mean to close things off, but I have a interview, and I got a Zoom class in Costa Rica in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to get ready for that. But we can talk a little more, and
we'll reschedule something. Well, you know, we'll lead up to it, especially when your book come out. But everybody, listen. This is Dr. J. Will with Elite Motivational Moments. Shout out to Grandmaster Robert Sugar Crosson.
Okay, I appreciate that, but the doctor, you can keep that for now. I'm not going to go that far.
You know, I mixed up doctor to you, but you know,
okay.
That's speaking some fun. Never know. But this is the one, the only Mr. Grandmaster. Let me put it that way, Grandmaster Sugar Robert Crosson, or Robert Sugar Crosson, whichever way you want to put it. You can go on to YouTube and really check out who he is and all the seminars. A lot of them are on there. Just a great guy. And hey, if you ever want to know more about the Crosson jump fit, inbox and just Google his name, and that's what I always tell people. Just Google your name, you'll find out everything they need to know about you. Inbox you if they're interested in the class. And like you say, some people like himself, they don't just train everybody, because it shouldn't be that way, because some people get trained for the wrong reason. So once again, I'm getting ready to get out of here, but we got about 20 seconds. Is it anything that you would like to leave with the people?
I just want to stay safe, stay blessed. And I got some things coming up. Like I got a magic show that I'm going to be doing soon.
What?
Let me put that over there. But yes, thank you for this opportunity, and to the masters and instructors out there, stay blessed. And to all the folks that are viewing this, thank you for viewing, and may God continue to bless you all. Thank you, Dr. Jones.
Thank you.
I call you Dr. Jones.
Slip of the tongue, but I'm okay. No. But Jones. Thank you, sir, for coming on. Like I said, we will be doing this again. Thank everybody that was right on target for the timing. And we just thank each and every person that is tuned in. Thank you, thank you, thank you once again, sir. And listen, for all of you that's continuing to listen, please stay tuned Monday at 1 o'clock. Monday at 1 o'clock, we will have Miss Bella Levy on, and we will be discussing and talking about the work that she is doing with the youth on the street and whatever she wants to talk about in her program that she's doing. Please join us Monday right here at Dr. J. Will, Motivational Moments with Dr. John Williams. Hey, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. And you know what? We out of here. Y'all be blessed.